band's 18-month tour last weekend by leaping from an Indianapolis stage into the crowd. He broke some ribs and suffered internal bleeding, but is now recovering in Los Angeles.
Depeche Mode frontman David Gahan being released from Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles after being treated and observed following an apparent suicide attempt.
Dave Gahan was arrested for possession of cocaine and being under the influence of a narcotic. Gahan, who was found unconscious from a cocaine-heroin overdose in his hotel room, was treated at the same hospital that had patched up his wrists after a suicide attempt last year.
Gahan's persistent drug habit has cost him his house and visiting privileges with his son, but the reportedly buoyant-sounding singer says, quote, "I'm walking around in a cloud now that I'm clean." Gahan still has to deal with a drug possession charge in an L.A. court on Tuesday.
When last we saw Depeche Mode's Dave Gahan,
taking everything away from me that I love, and so I've got to rebuild my life. I think I had the dark side of myself, what was tempting fate. I was trying to choose my own destiny. I was trying to, like, pick the time when it was time to leave. But there was something there for me, God or whatever, that wasn't supposed to happen, you know.
Gahan had injected a cocaine and heroin speedball that left him literally flatlining at nearby Cedars-Sinai Hospital for 2 minutes. The incident was a culmination of a downward spiral the singer had apparently been on for several years, ever since moving to L.A. and becoming hell-bent on reinventing himself.
I got carried away with the whole idea of being this rock star.
Dave got into a scene, you know, when he went to live in America, it was the start of the whole grunge thing. It was a big scene at the beginning of Songs of Faith and Devotion. When he came over to Europe, and he was talking in an American accent, he'd gone from liking David Bowie, you know, to liking all these Soundgarden and this and that and Alice in Chains. I mean, he was really into it in a big way. We all know what went along with that.
Gahan's drug use moved into high gear on the band's 93-94 devotional tour, on which, by his own admission, some nights he could barely stand up. Once the tour wound up, he returned to L.A., where he says he attempted suicide several times and fell into a familiar junkie pattern of half-hearted, unsuccessful stints in rehab and of finding ways to justify his habit.
As far as the band is concerned, were you ever sort of given an ultimatum?
I had had enough, you know, for sure. I know that Martin, for him, it was like there was no point in going on anymore if it was just going to continue like this, you know.
It's not a question of being a dictator. It's just a question of, like, facing the facts that, you know, the band's not going anywhere with Dave in his current condition.
Now I'm clean.
Gahan's overdose led to an intensive stay in court-ordered rehab, and he says he's now been clean for 8 months. And through his work with a vocal coach, his once-shot voice is sounding stronger than ever on the band's upcoming album, Ultra.
This album here it's a miracle that it's actually come out, and I think it's a miracle that it actually sounds fantastic as well, you know.
Doing this record, and especially in the last 8 months or so, it's really helped me a lot therapeutically, you know, Martin's lyrics and stuff, the songs being fundamentally about destiny, you know, it's kind of spooky, you know.
As fate would have it, Bomb the Bass mastermind Tim Simonon stepped in to produce Ultra. His involvement as both a producer and a musician helped push the band back towards more familiar musical territory.
There was a style that we were going for with Songs of Faith and Devotion, and I think we achieved that. I don't think we were trying to be so stylized with this album. It was the songs have come to the forefront more again.
There were quite a few times when I thought, this is not the Depeche Mode I know. This is a bit more fun.
I'm really glad now that we've gone back to more melody and soulfulness, which I think we're best at.
The band says that melody and soulfulness are most evident on their latest single, It's No Good.
Don't say you're happy out there without me. I know you can't be, 'cause it's no good.
It was the most Depeche Mode sounding song that we put out for a long time. The title itself is pretty funny when you think Depeche Mode's new single, It's No Good.
For the first time in the band's career, Depeche Mode will not be touring behind Ultra. Instead, the group plans on doing a few special performances similar to the one it recently did in London.
I'll be fine. I'll be waiting patiently.
I need time you know. And that's really why, with this record, that I'm adamant that I don't want to tour at the moment, especially this year, you know, because I don't want to set myself up and put myself in a situation where I'm in a dangerous place, or I am tempted to, you know, fall back into old ways. We've made possibly the best record that, you know, in our career, and I'd like to kind of leave it at that really for now, and see what happens.
And that's where we're going to leave it as well. Things continue to look up for Dave Gahan and Depeche Mode. The singer has remained drug-free, and the group is back in the studio recording new songs that will be included on a compilation album due out this fall, at which time they'll embark on their first tour in 5 years. For more information on Depeche Mode and all our remix artists, check out MTV Online, which can be found at mtv.com on the web and at keyword MTV on America Online. I'm Serena Alto. We'll see you next time.